The Last of Us Part 1 PC System Requirements Unveiled. PlayStation Studios is finally releasing The Last of Us Part 1 on the PC platform, on March 28. The game will be available both on Steam and the Epic Games Store. AMD is also bundling the game with its RX 6000 and RX 7000 series graphics cards. Ahead of its release, we have its system requirements lists, and there are 4 of them. The minimum requirements: 720p at 30Hz with low preset, call for an Intel Core i7-4770K Haswell quad-core processor, or an AMD Ryzen 5 1500X, along with at least an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 T-Pascal or GTX 970 Maxwell, or an AMD Radeon RX 470 Polaris. 16GB of RAM, 64-bit Windows 10, and 100GB of SSD storage, are required at the very least. Next up are the developers' recommended requirements, meant for 1080p at 60Hz gaming. This needs a Ryzen 5 3600X or Core i7-8700 processor, a GeForce RTX 2070 Super Touring or GeForce RTX 3060A, or AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT RDNA, or Radeon RX 6600 XT Renet 2 graphics card, along with 16GB of RAM. Next up, is the performance requirements list, that's 1440p at 60Hz, with high settings preset. You'll need at least a Ryzen 5 5600X or Core i7-9700K processor, at least a GeForce RTX 2080 Ti Touring or Radeon RX 6750 XT Renet 2 graphics, and 32GB of RAM. The Ultra requirements is for those who want to flex things with a 4K at 60Hz Ultra preset experience. For this, you'll need at least a Ryzen 9 5900X or Core i5-12600K processor, at least a GeForce RTX 4080 Ada or Radeon RX 7900 XT Renet 3 graphics card, and 32GB of RAM.